Welcome back to the Hawkeye Garage. I'm Joe. In today's episode we are going to be doing a video that you all have been asking about for quite some time now. We are going to be doing the 1 year, well technically the over 1 year review of this, the Costway Stay Cool 43 quart electric refrigerator, cooler, whatever you want to call it. Been using this on and off for well over a year now, and it's time to tell you guys what I think about it and how it's been working. Pull up a stool here and sit down, just in case you're not familiar with what I'm talking about. In the overlanding, camping, I like to buy more equipment than I actually need to put in my 4x4 for the 2 times that I go out a year. Community, you will be well aware of the 12 volt refrigerators for cars. There's lots of high-end ones, there's lots of low-end ones. Some of the low-end ones, like this, get pretty good reviews on Amazon and within the, let's just call it the overlanding community. I bought this, like I said, over a year ago, mainly for our off-roading trip that we took in our vacation in Tennessee. I'll drop some video links down below for that stuff. And I've also done a couple of videos in the past, like unboxing this and first impressions and stuff. I'll drop those videos down below as well. Check those out if you haven't already seen those. Anyway, so we've been using this on and off for a year. We've used it in the car, we've used it in the house, we've used it at the campsite, sitting on the ground, plugged into 110 outside of our camper. We have it in the car for hauling groceries around, yes, first world problems, and really for $320, I think, give or take. It's been awesome. I really can't recommend, I guess there's no better word than recommend. Buy at your own risk, because it is a Chinese made thing off of Amazon. There are horror stories out there, but there's also some really good stuff. Like I said, I've been using this on and off for over a year. Couple things, so I'm just going to start digging into some of the info because there's a lot of it. I changed the plug. It came with a 12 volt, standard 12 volt cigarette outlet plug. It's as good as quality as any other cigarette plug that you've ever seen. They're jiggly, they don't stay real tight. It plugged into the factory outlet on this, which again is not awesome. And up until a couple months ago it was doing pretty good, but I think things started to wear out, like the little springs inside the plug, and it was throwing error codes, I think because it was coming unplugged. So what I've done is swapped to this. This is actually a solar plug. It's just a 2-prong plug. It kind of looks like a really heavy duty trailer harness plug. I actually use these on quite a few things, like in the automotive community. I don't. It's kind of an accepted generic plug. So I've switched this. Actually, Chris switched his Alpacool fridge to this plug as well. And I'll show you the plug that I put in the car, which was just a round opposite version of this with 4 screws holding it in to the body panel. I just spliced it in to the original wiring that I ran from the battery, and this thing plugs in super snug and stays put, and I haven't had any problems. This thing does take a few minutes to start up. I've talked about that before. From comments other people have made and other things that I have seen. That's fairly common. This is a refrigerator, so it uses a compressor that basically does the making of the cold, if you will. We're gonna dumb it down. And it has oil in it to lubricate all the internal parts. Now, just like the refrigerator in your house, a window air conditioning unit, a mini fridge, if you've picked it up and jostled it around, you should let it sit for several minutes, depending on how crazy you've been with it, to let that oil settle so that the compressor can run and everything will be safe. From the information that I've received, it's kind of a fail-safe built into this unit that it won't turn on right away, just to ensure that all that oil is settled before it kicks on. I don't know if there's any truth to that. It makes sense. 2 to 5 minutes, this thing will kick on. That's just how it is. It's a little bit louder than your average mini fridge. I can't convey that to you on video very well. So there's that. It's not loud by any stretch of the imagination. The temperature fluctuations, so if you have it set at, let's say, 32 degrees, it will usually cool down to 28, give or take, and then it will usually go up to about 36, give or take, before it kicks back on. Everything that I've read, even on the high-end refrigerators, that seems like that's the common thing. That's what they all do. These aren't insulated very well. My Arctic cooler's got more insulation to this. And even if you buy a $1,000, $1,200 ARB Dometic, they still make, the companies themselves still make insulating blankets to go over them because they just don't insulate very well. Nature of the beast. So there's that. If you leave it on and you leave pop in the bottom of it over a weekend, it will freeze them. Guarantee, it will. You can crank this thing down into the teens and you can transport ice cream in it. I've done that. So it has performed extremely well. Most of the time when we're traveling, if I have stuff in it, like when we're on vacation, we're using it during the day, I leave it plugged in. At night, leave it on the medium setting on the back, which will protect your like if it really starts pulling juice, it'll just turn it off so it doesn't kill your battery. If you park your vehicle in the evening and you get back out in it and go off in the morning, it will run all night. If you park your vehicle for 18, 20 hours plus, it will probably kick out. It seems to be, it will shut off at about 11.8, 11.9 volts if it's really pulling juice. If you already have it down to temperature that you want it to, and it's around that 12 volt, and then the night comes and you're 12, 14, 16 hours, it seems to do better that way. There's a lot of information, I know I'm just talking, but those of you who are interested in this stuff are interested in this stuff. So if this has been in your car all day and it's 80, 90 degrees inside the unit when you plug it in, and you throw some beverages in it and you go to a cookout and you just left it on, you get to the cookout, it's gonna air out after you've been parked with the car turned off for a little while, because it's really gonna want to pull some juice and it's gonna sense that it's killing the battery even though it's not. So when we're just running around, going to friends' houses, getting groceries and stuff, I leave it in the low setting, which it will never turn the unit off until the battery is dead. Because I never leave the car parked that long and I don't want it to trip out, because I'm not very good about pre-cooling it on just random outings like that. So there's that. But like I said, when we've been using it and it's stayed at temperature in the car, it's got food in it, we park it overnight, get it in the next morning on the medium setting, it has kept everything cold in it, has not killed the battery, it's been awesome. Your charging system and the wiring in your car, it's going to be a little bit of trial and error, because some wiring systems push more juice, some have more resistance in them, some batteries put out more power. I'll drop a link down to my AGM battery extra charging diode fuse hack thing, and I explain a little bit more about that in that video, about how you can get a little bit more juice out of your charging system. Yes, I'm running an AGM battery for this. Just helps with the juice that this pulls. What else can I say about the unit? The off-road, it worked really good. I had it strapped to my cargo area strap down system, and it got jostled, yeah, sure, but it was, it was strapped down tight. Never had any problems with it turning off. One issue that I did have was if you open the lid, it's supposed to have a little chainstay to keep the lid from hyperextending, which you can see I don't have anymore. It's because it kept jingling and hitting the side of the inside of the cooler and was super annoying, so I took it off. Another thing that I had touched on in previous videos was the errors that in the owner's manual online, there's like 10 errors that it can put out. It's impossible to find a list of what those errors are. Well, a year later, come to find out, it's there's a list inside the lid. Yeah, so there's that. I've also been experimenting with the eco mode. which again, I have no concrete information on what the heck that means. There's nothing in the owner's manual. I've seen online where people say you shouldn't run it on eco mode because it actually strains the unit over time. Then again, I had somebody reach out to me and said that they only have run theirs on eco mode, and it's been awesome. So I've been experimenting with that. Come to find out, there's different eco modes inside the eco menu. Have no idea what those are. So there's that. I can tell you that fellow off-road member from my area on a Facebook group that I've talked to, because he has one of these, that he has been basically running it 2 years straight, whether in his car or in his basement. Like, he just takes it back and forth, but he says been in his basement for the last year or whatever as a adult beverage refrigerator, and it has worked non-stop for like a year plus, no faults, no problems. So there's that. And like I said, we use it at the campground for cold storage outside of the camper, just on the ground, plugged into the 110 outlet at the campground. Actually, we did it over 4th of July weekend. It was 4 nights. I had a bunch of pop and juice and stuff in there that didn't really fit in our camper fridge. And towards the end, and it was upper 90s the whole weekend outside. I tried to move this around a little bit to keep it in the shade. You should do that with a cooler or any refrigerator. 3 days into it, I had to start rearranging things because every pop that I would open was frozen. So, and I usually set it at 30 degrees. I know I said 32 earlier, but I usually leave it at 30 degrees. So, other than that, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I don't know why it says stay cool on it. Fairly certain from friends that have other brands of this fridge and different models. They're all made in the same factory, and it just depends on what sticker they decided to put on it that day and how they decided to brand it when they sell them on Amazon. So there's that. Anyway, I hope that answered a lot of questions for you guys, mainly like the whole charging of your car situation and how long this will run. My biggest takeaways are pre-cool it if you can. Try not to let your car sit more than 12 to 14 hours without starting the car if you're going to leave it on that medium setting, as long as it's been pre-cooled, and you should have no problems. I am going to rig up some kind of a paracord stay for this lid because my kids come and fling the lid open and I'm always like, don't open it all the way! So we're going to do that. The LED light that's inside of it is really, really good, and overall I have no regrets. I may see about selling this one and move up to the, what is it, 53, 55 quart, because the footprint is the same, it's just taller. And when I put it in the 4Runner, it's just wasted space on top of it anyway, because if I stack stuff on it, I can't get in it. And if I put, like, if I were to put a tote underneath it or a drawer system underneath it, it's too tall for me to open and like effectively get into it. So moving up to that next size might be a happy medium. And who knows, I've seen some other friends, they've got, well, actually one of them is a Costway. It still says stay cool, but it's got a different control panel on it. The same control panel as another friend's Alpacool one that has the all digital readout, and that comes with an app, and the app actually seems to work pretty darn good. You can control the temperature, you can lock the controls to keep kids away from changing your settings. But other than that, it's been really good. I had one negative comment over all my videos and stuff. Somebody said that they had one, the compressor crapped out, and that's the end of it. You can pretty much guarantee that unless you have a problem right away and you want to send it back to Amazon, you're gonna not have a warranty or anything. So if you want a warranty or an exchange policy, you're gonna have to spend $1,000 on one to get a name brand one from a reputable 4x4 retailer. Anyway, I hope that answered a lot of your guys' questions about how it's been working. And if you have any more questions, I'll be happy to make another video talking about this thing. I don't mind being the guinea pig since I already have it, and it's been good. If you have any information about the whole like eco settings and stuff, hit me up. Actually, just email me, hawkeyeskunkworks@gmail.com, and I'll figure this out. I'll be happy to make a video about that too. While I'm thinking about it, also, I'm sure somebody's gonna ask, like, well, what voltage does it turn off when it's at high or medium or low, and how, like, I have no concrete numbers because, like I said, I've been using this on and off for over a year. It hasn't been consistent enough for me to nail down, like, at exactly 11.8 volts on medium, if it's not pre-cooled, it will turn off on battery saving, even though that's been generally my experience from my observations. And again, the eco mode, I have no idea. So maybe we'll use it for another year on eco mode and I'll make another video. Anyway, comments, questions down below. Email me, like I said before. Follow the other links down below to Instagram and Facebook, posting over there a lot more often. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do that. Just hit the little subscribe button. And then you can also hit the little bell button that will tell you when I've uploaded a video every Sunday. That's right, every Sunday. Give the video a thumbs up also, because that does help the algorithm. And now that I've begged for all of your support, we'll go ahead and cut the video. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.